Thank you, Stefan. Yep, it's an honor. So I'm Albert from Tetra Pak. I didn't manage to register properly. I'm actually from Sweden, and we were not even on the page, but we're at least one person here. So let us see if we can get the presentation up. Yes, thank you. So, of course, we are very honored to host this event, and of course, being in Bologna and in Fico, this place, with a lot of our, food categories being represented, I think it's a good opportunity for us. So I will take the opportunity to, promote a little bit of Tetra Pak. Of course, why don't you do that? And then, of course, tell a little bit what we are doing, especially in the field of OPC. Filippo will go into some details. And in the end, we have some reflection slides. Also, where are the, future heading and, a bit of a discussion. So, welcome. Tetra Pak, I think everyone have a relation to Tetra Pak. I think many of you know what we are doing, but actually as an end consumer, there is a lot of people in the world recognizing Tetra Pak from our packages, of course. So we have quite a few packages, so there is actually, 35 touching points per people on the planet touching a Tetra Pak package. Not everyone, of course, but we have a large footprint. And I think many people have a relation to our packages of primarily liquid food in carton. In aseptic carton, that is our main. But as you see, we have a large variety of carton-based packages. And I think everyone recognizes what is our promise. We want to, protect what's good. That is actually a logo that we try to bring on all our packages. And it's close to 200 billion packs a year. So it's a quite big volume we have. And we have been in the business for quite some time. But what people don't know is that actually, going back to our vision, we want to make food safe and available everywhere. It's not only about the package. It's actually about the full, helping our customers to create solutions for basically liquid food in carton. Not really true, because we are also into the business of powder and cheese, so we are a little bit, but you could say it's primarily on liquid food. Still, our largest categories are in dairy and beverage, so that's why Fico is a very good place for us to be in. So that is kind of our core, dairy and beverage products into carton packages. But in fact, we are creating our customer solutions. So we want to help our customers create products based on this liquid food. And we are supplying the capital equipment or the machinery for the packaging, but for the processing part as well, if you like the kitchen of it. So we have had since many, many years processing equipment, packaging equipment, and distribution equipment. Of course, to a various degree, and we are integrating with a lot of other players, but our customers, we help them basically from raw material intake all the way to their warehouse. And our business is, of course, also to create these solutions, selling them the equipment, creating and integrating the solution, providing the services, as well as, of course, the packaging material. That is the three business legs that Tetra Pak is having today. But, in this field, of course, being an integrator, and especially now I will mention a little bit what is happening in the world with this fourth industrial revolution, whatever you like to call it, Industry 4, IoT, whatever you call it, it's at the core of what we're doing. There is a lot of interesting topics for us. So if you'd like to look at as a company, I think if you look at our central R&D, we are a couple of thousand people. It's based a lot out of Modena in this region and Sweden, in southern Sweden, in Lund, where I'm based. But if you look at our, vast majority of the people, they're actually out in the market. We have basically covering more than 160 countries. So starting from the 60s, that is the key benefit we have. We have a very local presence in basically every market in the world with our packages. But if you look at the equipment we are providing, these are the yearly units we deliver. Packaging machines, around 300, 350 per year. Processing equipment, 2,000. Of course, there is everything from a simple, simple pump to simple component to bigger units like a pasteurizer or a full sterile tank or a homogenizer or whatever you have. So processing is a lot more equipment, but it's also smaller equipment. So a filling machine maybe represents a more complex machine. But we also have a lot of downstream equipment handling all the packages, putting them into secondary, putting them into another package, and the palletizing area. So units in operation, we have a huge install base. Something like 8,000-9,000 filling lines, more than 80,000 processing equipment, and 20,000. So install base for us is, of course, a very big asset and also a bit of a challenge, of course, when you talk about new technologies. Majority of our equipment is based on install base. So a few more figures. I think takeaway from this is our local presence and making sure that our technologies and products get available to all corners of the world. Sales offices, not in all countries, but 85 sales offices and 32 market companies. We are clusterizing them in what we today are calling 4 clusters, with America, Central South Asia, Europe, and Greater Middle East. 11 R&D units, 2 big ones and a few smaller. We have a lot of customer innovation center and product development center. We bring our customers and want to help them grow new food categories or building new type of products. So we bring them to Tetra Pak in basically many of our facilities. Production plants. We have 55 production plants. So the majority of our business is of course producing packaging material, laminating material. So these are big size factories. We have around 30 of them. Then we have a lot of what we call additional material. That is typically caps, openings, straws, strips, a lot of these additional material used for our packages. And then we have training centers, and we also have where we are producing our capital equipment. So I think that was enough with bragging about Tetra Pak, but it's a quite impressive company with a legacy we have since back in the 60s. So what is then the fourth industrial revolution doing to us? This has been on the topic of our company since at least 2013, I would say, where we have been talking about big data, digitalization. Last couple of years it has been a lot around Industry 4.0. Now it's a lot about IoT or industrial IoT. So of course these megatrends will affect us and our customers, and we would like to see these as tools to boost our business, especially integrating and helping our customers to integrate our equipment. That is where we want to leverage this technology. A lot around the services and also a lot about the productivity. OPC, we will get into that, is of course one of the cornerstones for us because Internet of Things. By the way, I'm managing a department called Industrial Internet of Things. So, and I know that when I invented that, department name, everyone was questioning, what about Internet of Things? Isn't that just, for consumer toys and that kind of stuff? Well, with an industrial IoT, I think it's a good word for what we are doing because the things for us is of course our equipment, but it's also our packages actually. They are also things that need to be connected, bringing the physical world to the digital world. So with that said, I think I will hand over to Filippo to talk a little bit more concretely what we're doing. Do you want to use this or you use this?
I think we can manage with this one. Thanks, Albert. Good morning, everybody. My name is Filippo Serafini. I would like to stay on that slide for just a while, just introducing what I'm going to say. My name is Filippo Serafini. I'm part of the Albert team. I'm working mainly with the line integration. So I'm leading the team which is developing the line controller solution for Tetra Pak, which is in the packaging area, managing our production line. I think Albert already addressed the topic we are going to live in next close future. So we are going to change our mindset in terms of what we are doing. We are changing the mindset towards our customer because customer is demanding, is requesting always more. And I think this picture is really well showing where Tetra Pak is going. The journey has started since some time. We are not in the starting point, but we are already in the middle of the journey. We started some years ago looking to the virtualization, to the data analysis, collecting already data from our equipment, trying to get from the data value to the equipment. The vertical and the horizontal integration is something Tetra Pak developed in the past 10 years, quite heavy. We put a lot of effort in doing integration versus the MES area, where Tetra Pak has as well its own product, but I mean, generally speaking, since we are on a world environment, we should interface as well to others. We are looking to horizontal integration because, as Albert said, we have a lot of our equipment in the line, but usually we are interfacing as well with third-part equipment. So our line typically is composed by our filling machine, but in the downstream equipment mainly we have third-part supplier which are providing other machine, and we need to integrate them in our lines because we are looking to offer a service like an integrator more than a machine builder. So the journey has started a long time ago, but we have to look forward. We have to look at what's happening in the world, and most of those topics like artificial intelligence, like the big data, which is coming, the request of having more and more analysis on the data that we are getting from the equipment, that's something customer is looking for, and we would like to be the right partner to offer those kind of solution. One of the main topic I would like to just highlight, then we can talk about it later on if you are interested, is about security. Security in terms of security of the system and privacy, because that's the topic. Those two topics are affecting our values. I mean, when we talk about privacy, it's not just the privacy we have in our home, in our house. It's something that we need to keep in consideration as well on the work. And since Tetra Pak has people as one of the main value, we would like to address as well the privacy topic in the industry. So those are topics that, generally speaking, I mean, everybody talk about them, but we are looking practically to them how to put those in our solution. Going a bit more deeper in what we are doing today in order to address the IoT revolution or the Industry 4.0, that's just a high level. Obviously, I mean, we are not here to present deeper in detail, but it's just a sketch, it's just a picture which is showing where Tetra Pak is going. That's, I mean, technically speaking, we have a really big amount of data provider, of sources, data sources, which are from the legacy equipment. You can see in the bottom part, so machines which are already present on the field, which are running since a long time, but we are already generating data or ready to generate data. Quite interesting. We have a new system which is going in the direction of the predictive maintenance, which is going in the direction of being able to predict what will happen in the future. So what we call a high-speed data stream. So what is a big amount of data which will help us in getting information about how the machine and the line performs. Then we have more smart and advanced devices which will come. We are waiting for them. Is something we are talking daily with our supplier, our technology supplier, in order to have equipment and have as well components and have as well sensors which are able to give us to improve the value of our solution. All those data generator, all those data sources, in our idea, will be served by a middle layer, which is on stage, which is we can say in the technology world on edge, which will have it's a mix of solution. Because we need to keep in consideration our history, our legacy, our installed base equipment, and our solution. So, as you can see, we just wrote a set of possible connector or adapter, or call them as you prefer. But this is a sort of software layer which will come sooner in the field in order to being able to to grab all those kind of data and move them on another area where we can run our analytics and our services. That most probably in the future will be the cloud. It's already, honestly, I mean, it's a journey, as I said, has already started. So we can see that's the trend. We are not against the trend. We would like to be part of the trend, and so we are looking already to the solution to provide services through the cloud. Will be not the only one. We know, I mean, there's, as we said, we would like to, our ambition is to provide solution everywhere. So we know there's different environmental situation. We know we need to be able to cover all the different needs. So the solution obviously should be scalable, and if we are able to have a modular solution which is able to cover the different needs, I think that will be the added value. I would like to highlight the fact that the OPC UA, you can see in the picture, is already explicitly mentioned. That's because we trust in being that this will be one of the main actors of the picture. This will be one of the main, will be not the only one, as well for technical reason, but for sure it will be one of the main actor in the new vision and the new solution designed. Then Albert will come back again on the partnership and what we are doing with other suppliers in terms of solution. But again, we would like to just to highlight the fact that we are on board. We are on board with the OPC Foundation. We were part of a couple of initiatives that we think are really relevant and will help a lot the packaging world, mainly linked to our business, which is the food and beverage. It's not just a matter of having a channel in order to move data from the sensor, from the equipment up to the cloud. It's not just a matter of collect data. It's a matter of providing to the data as well a meaning. So in that sense, we fully support the initiative of the corporate standard, corporate companion specification, sorry, which is a matter of providing to the data as well a meaning. That's we attended a couple of initiatives, one driven by the OMAC, which is the PAC-ML, which is, I would say, I like to say a standard, even if it's not really, but I like to say a standard because that's the aim, that's the ambition for this, let me say, protocol. And as well, recently has just started the widest activity within the OPC Foundation. Later on, there's a session on that, which is aiming to use OPC UA and the structure, the data definition of OPC UA as a tool, as something in order to help in making all of us able to speak not just the same language, I would say as well the same dialect. So as well having the content on the data. That's almost what I would like to transfer to you. I hope this you get where Tetra Pak is looking. I hope we can meet and sit all together around the table, being able not just interoperate, but as well to make a better world. Thank you, Albert, if you want to close the...
Yep, final slide, just a few reflections from our side on where the future is heading. So I think that, the title of the whole event is IT meets automation. And one reflection here is that two domains are about to meet. If you just bring up, the previous slide, there is a lot of cloud, there is a lot of new players. So entering the era, we are coming from the classical OT domain where we have the big ones like, you know, Rockwell, Siemens, Beckhoff, you have them all. And now all of a sudden you have a lot of cloud players. So this is a lot about, you know, collaboration and ecosystem thinking. So I think the first reflection we have is that they are forcing IT and OT domain together. And I think also like, you know, OPC Foundation will have to, you know, face a couple of new providers. We didn't bring up a lot of names, but clear for us is that on the cloud part, we are working with Microsoft. We have a strategic partnership with Microsoft. We still have a lot of partnership with Rockwell, Siemens, and also Beckhoff, of course, on our OT domain. Now these two domains are really meeting with a lot of opportunities, but also a lot of challenges, of course. So I think if you're just looking at OPC, I think trying to, you know, talk to OT people about OPC UA, it's like kicking in open doors. Everyone loves it, it's clear, it's just a way to, you know, collaborate around. It's not as obvious if you go to Microsoft. But it's very comfortable to see Microsoft talking a lot about OPC UA just the last, you know, 1.5 years, and lately talking about OPC Twin, because the challenge will be in the IT domain, making sure that we have the data model, how it's integrated to, you know. So I think there is where the challenge lies, to make sure that we move up the standardization and the discussions more into the IT domain. Not because OT domain isn't important, but because it's much easier, because we are used to collaborate. Second reflection is, of course, that with all these new players entering the market, the classical, you know, partnership relation with vendor, supplier, manufacturer is getting a bit blurred. You don't know if that is sometimes a supplier, can sometimes be a customer, can sometimes be a competitor to you. And that, you know, creates, there need to be an ecosystem thinking. It's very hard to make business model based on that, you know, I'm the supplier and you are the customer here. It's very difficult even for us. So I think that, but you know, in the end, to define this playground, standardization is still key. It's as simple as that. If you don't have any playgrounds to play around, it's very difficult. Everyone want to, you know, get around the table, but if there is no, you know, standardization or non-profitable organizations driving this, it will be very hard to get started on collaboration. So OPC UA is really a very good starting point for us. But talking to the IT guys, they still have some, you know, miles to walk. I think that was our last words and reflection. Stefan, any comments or?
Thank you very much. First of all,